At the end of the day, you walk into your bedroom, shut the door, and turn off the lights. Humans have a deeply ingrained belief that a solid physical barrier guarantees complete privacy. That green LED in the corner is the only visible sign of a system that continuously scans the physical space of your home. Look at this diagram. A router functions like a continuous sonar system. Every second, it floods your room with millions of radio waves. As these waves travel, they collide with objects, including your body, and bounce back to the device. Notice how the returning waves create a distinct physical outline. Engineers call this CSI data, or channel state information. The way the waves scatter changes based on your exact position. If you walk, the pattern shifts. If you sit, it shifts again. The router can even measure the micro movements of your chest expanding and contracting as you breathe. The invisible network you pay for every month is generating a continuous stream of data that describes your physical presence in high definition. This is the Great Dome at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. In 2018, researchers inside these buildings successfully proved that an artificial intelligence program could analyze those scattered Wi-Fi shadows to accurately track moving subjects through solid walls. 4 years later, a team at Carnegie Mellon University took the concept further. As you can see in this diagram, they used multiple signals that intersect to map the full 3D articulated wireframe of a human body through a wall. That research was directly funded by Meta. You might assume this requires highly specialized, expensive radar equipment. It doesn't. The researchers achieved this using standard $50 dual-band routers, the exact same hardware sitting in most homes right now. Everyday consumer electronics now possess the raw sensory capacity required for X-ray-like surveillance. When advanced surveillance methods become cheap and highly accessible, state intelligence agencies are historically the first to exploit them. This is Edward Snowden. In 2013, his leaked documents detailed the immense scale of global internet monitoring conducted by the NSA. They collected data from millions of ordinary citizens and foreign politicians alike. But they also physically compromised the hardware. The NSA intercepted shipments of American Cisco routers, like the ones connected to these fiber optic cables, while they were in transit to foreign buyers. Agents opened the boxes, installed hidden surveillance software directly onto the hardware, repackaged them, and sent them on their way. We inherently trust the hardware we bring into our homes, but these supply chain intercepts prove a router can be compromised before you ever take it out of the shrink wrap. This logo belongs to the NSO Group, a private Israeli intelligence firm run by veterans of Israel's Unit 82000 Cyber Warfare Division. They created Pegasus, a piece of zero-click spyware. If your phone receives a specific hidden message, Pegasus installs itself automatically, granting the operator full access to your camera, microphone, and location, without you ever clicking a link. This framed portrait is of Jamal Khashoggi. Prior to his assassination inside the Saudi consulate in Istanbul, forensics revealed that the phones of his close associates had been successfully infected with Pegasus, allowing operators to track his location and plans. Combine a tool like Pegasus with Wi-Fi sensing technology. An agency can listen to your physical conversations through your infected phone, while simultaneously using your router's CSI data to track your exact physical movements from room to room. We can already see prototypes of this kind of total surveillance in China's Xinjiang province. Citizens there are tracked via mandatory phone spyware, QR code checkpoints at mosques, and facial recognition cameras on every street. If Wi-Fi sensing is integrated into an existing state-level database like that, physical walls offer zero protection. A targeted individual would have nowhere left to hide. The concept of a private sanctuary simply ceases to exist. This logo belongs to TP-Link, one of the most widely used router brands on Earth. In 2024, the U.S. Congress opened an investigation into the company over concerns that Chinese laws compel the manufacturer to share data with the state. While the investigation is ongoing, it highlights the vulnerability sitting in your living room. A manufacturer or an intelligence agency exploiting a vulnerability could push a seemingly routine firmware update to your router. That update could easily harbor code designed to silently export your physical movement patterns to a remote server. You have to manage this hardware aggressively. First, log into your router and change the default administrative password to a complex string. Admin1234 is an open door for anyone. Second, manually check your manufacturer's app for official firmware updates to patch known security flaws. Third, make a habit of checking your router's connected device list. If you see a phone, tablet, or laptop that you do not explicitly recognize, block its MAC address permanently. And fourth, the simplest and most foolproof defense you have against Wi-Fi sensing: unplug your router before you go to sleep. If the device isn't emitting a radio signal, it cannot map your body. When humans invented the camera, we learned to pull the curtains over our windows to keep our private lives private. Technology has bypassed the physical curtain. Now you have to practice digital hygiene, because a wall is no longer an obstacle.